The moment Josslyn Jax realized the truth, something inside her changed forever. Not anger. Not grief. Something colder. Because in Josslyn's mind, every tragedy in her life now had one common thread: Sonny Corinthos. And this time she isn't just complaining about it. She's planning to end it. The tension exploded during Josslyn's confrontation with Carly Spencer on March 5th. What started as a tense conversation quickly turned into a brutal emotional reckoning. Carly thought she understood her daughter's motives. She believed Josslyn had joined the WSB for adventure, for purpose, maybe even for redemption. But Josslyn shattered that illusion with one chilling confession. She didn't join the WSB for herself. She joined it to take down men like Sonny. The words hit Carly like a thunderbolt. Because Josslyn wasn't speaking out of impulse anymore, she wasn't acting like a heartbroken young woman reacting to loss. She sounded like someone with a mission. And in that moment, Carly realized something terrifying. Josslyn may already have a plan. Josslyn's rage didn't appear overnight. It has been building for months, maybe even years. Every time danger touched their family, every time another life was lost, every time Sonny's criminal world spilled into their home, the resentment grew stronger. And then came the moment that pushed Josslyn past the point of no return. Dex Heller's death. The man Josslyn loved paid the ultimate price in a world that was never supposed to touch him, and when Cyrus Renault became responsible for that devastating fate, Josslyn made a choice she can never undo. She took revenge. She killed Cyrus. It was a moment that permanently changed her life. But instead of bringing closure, it opened a darker door inside her mind. Because if Cyrus was only one piece of the problem, then Sonny was the root of it all. That realization ignited a fire that Carly can no longer control. During their heated confrontation, Carly tried to reach her daughter. She tried to remind Josslyn that Sonny had protected their family countless times. But Josslyn wasn't listening anymore. Her voice trembled with fury as she unleashed years of bottled-up pain. She spoke about the danger, the fear, the endless grief. Every tragedy, every close call, every life ruined by mob violence. To Josslyn, Sonny isn't a protector. He's the storm that keeps destroying everything. And now she believes it's time to stop him. Carly hoped that Josslyn would eventually calm down, that maybe she would realize things aren't as simple as they seem. But Josslyn made one thing painfully clear. She's done waiting for Carly to understand. She's done hoping things will change. Now she's taking matters into her own hands. And that raises a terrifying question. What exactly does Josslyn plan to do? Sonny Corinthos is one of the most powerful and elusive figures in Port Charles. For years, he has managed to stay one step ahead of the law. Charges disappear. Witnesses vanish. Investigations fall apart. Even the most determined prosecutors have failed to bring him down. So how does Josslyn think she can succeed where everyone else failed? One thing seems certain. She's not planning something simple. Because deep down, Josslyn understands something many people refuse to admit. The legal system has never been enough to stop Sonny. But recently something changed. Something that could expose Sonny in a way he's never faced before. A woman named Justine Turner. Assistant District Attorney Justine Turner is supposed to represent the law. She's supposed to be one of the people working to dismantle criminal empires like Sonny's. Instead, she found herself caught in something far more dangerous. A connection. A spark. An attraction that neither of them expected. And eventually, a moment they can never take back. Sonny and Justine crossed a line. One passionate night turned a professional rivalry into something dangerously personal. Even Sonny understands how explosive this secret could be. Because if the wrong people discover what happened between them, the consequences could be deadly. Sonny himself admitted the terrifying reality. If his business associates believe he's feeding information to an assistant district attorney, they might decide he's a traitor. And traitors in Sonny's world don't survive long. But Sonny isn't the only one risking everything. Justine's career would be destroyed instantly if the truth became public. An assistant district attorney secretly involved with one of the most powerful criminals in the city. That kind of scandal could end her future overnight. Which is why both of them agreed on one thing. What happened between them was a mistake. A one-time lapse in judgment. Something that could never happen again. At least that's what they told themselves. But in Port Charles, secrets have a way of resurfacing. And temptation rarely disappears that easily. Because despite the danger, despite the risks, the chemistry between Sonny and Josslyn refuses to fade. Every conversation between them feels charged with tension. Every glance lingers just a little too long. And sooner or later, that kind of pressure always leads to another explosion. Which brings us back to Josslyn. Because if there's one thing she's proven recently, it's that she's paying attention to everything. And if Josslyn discovers the secret connection between Sonny and Josslyn, she might finally have the weapon she's been looking for. Imagine the power of that kind of evidence. Photos, messages, proof that Sonny Corinthos is involved with the very woman who is supposed to prosecute criminals like him. The fallout would be massive. Sonny's enemies would immediately assume the worst. They might believe he's secretly cooperating with law enforcement, that he's trading information to protect himself. And in Sonny's world, that accusation alone could be a death sentence. But here where things get even more dangerous. What if Josslyn doesn't go straight to the authorities? What if she decides to handle this her own way? Because there's one move that could force Sonny into an impossible corner. Blackmails. Imagine Josslyn walking into Sonny's office, placing a stack of photos on the desk and quietly revealing what she knows. Proof of his secret relationship with Justine Turner. Proof that could destroy him overnight. And then comes the ultimatum. Disappear. Leave Port Charles forever. Go to your island. Go anywhere. Just never come back. For Josslyn, it would be the perfect solution. No violence. No bloodshed. Just removing the one man she believes brings danger into everyone's lives. But Sonny Corinthos has never been the kind of man who runs away. Which means if Josslyn tries this move, she might be starting a war she can't control. Because the moment Sonny realizes what she's doing, everything could spiral out of control. And the most shocking part, Josslyn might not even need to threaten him. Because if she simply releases the evidence publicly, Sonny's own allies might handle the problem for her. In their world, betrayal is unforgivable. If they think Sonny has turned against them, they might move to eliminate him before he can betray anyone else. And suddenly, Sonny Corinthos could become the most hunted man in Port Charles. All because of one determined woman who refuses to back down. But Josslyn may be underestimating one crucial thing. Taking down Sonny doesn't just threaten him. It threatens everyone connected to him. Donna, Avery, Carly. The fallout could destroy far more lives than she expects. And if Josslyn crosses that line, there may be no way back. But the real shock might be how Sonny reacts when he realizes who is coming after him. Because when that moment arrives, Port Charles may witness a battle no one ever expected. And it's only just beginning. Sonny Corinthos has faced enemies his entire life. Rival mob bosses, federal investigators, betrayals from inside his own organization. But nothing could prepare him for the possibility that the next person coming after him might be Josslyn Jax. Because Josslyn isn't just another enemy. She's family. And that makes everything far more dangerous. If Sonny begins to suspect that Josslyn is watching him, collecting evidence and waiting for the right moment to strike, he won't know how to respond. Does he confront her? Does he warn Carly? Or does he pretend nothing is happening and hope the storm passes? The truth is, Sonny understands something that most people in Port Charles refuse to admit. Josslyn is not a child anymore. She's intelligent. She's determined. And now she has the training and connections that come with working for the WSB. That means if she decides to bring Sonny down, she might actually have the tools to do it. And the first sign of trouble could arrive sooner than anyone expects. Because somewhere in Port Charles, Josslyn might already be watching. Waiting. Studying Sonny's every move. She knows his routines. She knows his connections. And most importantly, she knows his weaknesses. And right now, Sonny has one vulnerability he can't hide. Josslyn Turner. Their connection may have started as a moment of passion, but the danger surrounding it is very real. If someone were to capture the wrong moment, a quiet meeting, a secret visit, a private conversation that lasts too long, it could create exactly the kind of evidence Josslyn needs. Imagine the moment when Josslyn finally sees it. Sonny and Josslyn together. Too close. Too comfortable. Too intimate for two people who are supposed to be on opposite sides of the law. In that instant, everything would become clear. This isn't just a rumor. It's proof. And once Josslyn has proof, the entire game changes. Because suddenly Sonny isn't untouchable anymore. Now he's vulnerable. And the way Josslyn uses that vulnerability could define everything that happens next. Maybe she decides to confront him directly. Picture the scene. Sonny sits behind his desk at the Corinthos coffee warehouse, completely unaware of what's coming. Then the door opens. Josslyn walks in. Calm, focused, almost frighteningly confident. She places a photo on the desk. Sonny and Josslyn. Close together. Too close to explain away. For a moment the room goes silent. Sonny studies the image and slowly he realizes what it means. Someone has been watching him. And that someone is Josslyn. The tension in the room would be unbearable. Because Sonny understands immediately what she's capable of. And Josslyn wastes no time explaining. She doesn't shout. She doesn't threaten. She simply lays out the truth. If these photos become public, Sonny's entire world collapses. His allies will believe he's feeding information to the assistant district attorney. His enemies will see an opportunity. And the law will start asking questions that Josslyn Turner can't answer. In other words, everyone loses. But Josslyn offers him a way out. A simple deal. Leave Port Charles. Disappear. Go to the island Sonny has used before, start a new life somewhere far away from the people she loves. Because according to Josslyn, that's the only way the cycle of violence will finally stop. No more dangers. No more bloodshed. Just peace. At least that's what Josslyn believes. But Sonny Corinthos has never been a man who accepts ultimatums easily. And hearing this demand from Josslyn might hit him harder than anything else. Because Sonny doesn't see himself as the villain of this story. In his mind, everything he has done was to protect the people he cares about. Carly, Michael, Josslyn, Donna, Avery. He built his empire to keep enemies away from them. To shield them from a world that can be even more ruthless than the one he controls. And now Josslyn is standing in front of him, telling him that the greatest threat to their family is him. That realization could shake Sonny to his core. For the first time in a long time, Sonny might actually question himself. Did he create the very danger he was trying to prevent? Has his life truly brought nothing but pain to the people he loves? But even if Sonny has doubts, one thing about him never changes. He refuses to run. Which means Josslyn's plan might not work the way she expects. And if Sonny refuses to leave, Josslyn may have to take the next step. Releasing the evidence. The moment those photos reach the public, the shockwaves through Port Charles would be immediate. News spreads fast in this town. Within hours, the scandal would dominate every conversation. Assistant District Attorney Josslyn Turner secretly involved with mob boss Sonny Corinthos. It would be the kind of headline that destroys careers and sparks investigations overnight. Josslyn would face suspension. Internal reviews. Endless questions from superiors demanding explanations she can't give. And Sonny. His problems would be even worse. Because in the criminal world, perception is everything. If Sonny appears compromised, his allies will start to panic. Is he cooperating with prosecutors? Is he trading information to protect himself? Or worse, has he already betrayed them? In that environment, fear spreads quickly. And fear leads to desperate decisions. Some of Sonny's own associates might decide the safest move is to eliminate the risk entirely. which means Sonny could suddenly become a target from within his own organization. All because of one secret that was never supposed to see the light of day. But the fallout wouldn't stop there. Carly would be furious when she realizes what Josslyn has done. She already knows how dangerous Sonny's world is. And now Josslyn may have thrown gasoline on the fire. Because if Sonny's enemies start circling, innocent people could get caught in the crossfire. Donna, Avery, everyone connected to Sonny could suddenly be in danger. And Carly would demand answers. Did Josslyn really believe this would protect their family? Or has she unknowingly created a disaster that could destroy them all? Meanwhile, Justine Turner would be fighting for her professional life. Her reputation would hang by a thread. And if investigators start digging deeper, they might uncover things neither she nor Sonny ever intended to reveal. Secrets buried beneath years of careful planning. Which means Josslyn's move could trigger consequences far bigger than she imagined. But perhaps the most emotional moment of all would come when Sonny and Josslyn face each other again. After everything. After the scandal. After the chaos. Because by that point, the relationship between them may be shattered beyond repair. Sonny might look at Josslyn and realize the young girl he once protected is gone. In her place stands someone hardened by pain and loss. Someone willing to do whatever it takes to stop the cycle she believes is destroying their family. And Josslyn might look at Sonny and see something she never noticed before. A man who truly believes he was protecting the people he loves, even if his methods brought terrible consequences. But in Port Charles, good intentions rarely erase the damage that's already been done. So the question becomes, who will pay the ultimate price for this war? Will Sonny manage to survive the fallout from Josslyn's plan? Will Justine lose everything because of their dangerous connection? Or will Josslyn discover that taking down Sonny creates a new nightmare she never saw coming? One thing is certain. The battle between Josslyn Jacks and Sonny Corinthos could change the future of Port Charles forever. And the next chapter of this story may deliver a shock no one is ready for. But now we want to hear from you. Do you think Josslyn is right to try to remove Sonny from Port Charles, or is she making a huge mistake that could destroy her own family? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoy deep dives into General Hospital drama, twists, and future predictions, don't forget to subscribe for daily General Hospital updates. Because in Port Charles, the next secret is always just one episode away.